For this segment of the show, we're in the home of Anoma, one of Sri Lanka's foremost artists. Anoma is a student of Central St. Martin's School in London, one of the finest art colleges in the world. It was a home to Alexander McQueen, John Galliano, Stella McCartney, really virtually anyone who was anyone in the art world began life there. And Anoma herself got a first-class honors from there. So we're in with a very, very fine artist indeed. She is also my sister-in-law, so it's kind of nepotism having her on the show, but shh, we won't mention that. I'm standing in front of one of her pieces called The Mirror Wall. As you can see, it's got writing in all three languages. It was a piece she did for the first Colombo Biennale. But if you'd like to see more of her stuff, follow me. Anoma, good morning.
Hi.
Welcome to the Ashok Ferrey show.
And welcome to my studio.
So this is where it all happens, yeah?
A lot of it.
Yeah?
At least the idea stage.
I love it. I love it. All the little pictures and the clutter, and it's quite small, quite a small space.
Well, because I like that intimacy, and it's very private. Very few people come in here.
Yeah.
And it means I can sort of let my brain roam around the space, and it influences me, and I write on the walls, and
so basically we're inside your brain at the moment, are we?
Sort of. Put it like that.
Put it like that. Now tell me, you're one of the few Sri Lankan artists, I mean I don't know how many, there may be 20 or 30, who have exhibited extensively worldwide. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I wouldn't say that it was extensively, but I have been in group shows in Singapore, in Brisbane, in various other places, but also, and in London twice, but solo shows in New Delhi and Sydney, Maldives, Colombo.
Gosh, it's endless.
No, that's not so much, but it is very nice to have that exposure and have different responses to one's work and see, you know.
And was your work well received? Was it quite reasonably?
Surprisingly, yes. Not only by Sri Lankans, you know, who say live in Sydney or London, but by the international
foreigners, sort of thing.
Yes. Which is
are they quite curious about Sri Lankan art, because it's something that I wouldn't imagine anyone worldwide really knows much about at all.
I think becoming more and more so. Really, especially in London.
Yeah.
And yes, I think because of the Indian market taking off so much. So they're also looking at
so you in the art world, you're kind of in the same position as we in the writing world are. You know, sort of we're following India, but India is kind of a few years ahead of us.
Yes,
sort of thing,
very many.
Very many years.
In terms of art, really,
certainly in terms of writing as well, I would say 20 years or whatever. The other thing about you, Anoma, is that you work in many different types of media, different types of art. Would you like to tell us roughly kind of the different types?
Well, I think my main signature work is mixed media on paper and canvas, and so it is what I would call pure paint. But in the last few years I've been very interested in digital art, video installations, sculpture, and so working with whatever medium I think best expresses the ideas I have. So it may be that it works best with pure paint, or it might be that it's better on film. And that is the reason for traveling different paths, but also because I like exploring new ideas and new techniques, and challenging myself every time with, you know, not knowing how to do that.
And
feeling comfortable in the one
thing.
Yes.
So it's kind of a learning curve each time, with each different.
For me, my art is really very much an adventure. I mean, I sort of sit here and go long travels, you know, adventuring. So for me, the excitement is not knowing where I'm going to arrive, you know, and where I'm going to be. So that's a way of exploring, because it's something new, and I'm not sure how I'm going to manage.
And are you at times happy and at other times unhappy with where it's gone in that particular medium?
Absolutely, with all the mediums, even the ones where I've been working on for a long time. there's a lot of struggle and a lot of throwing away and rejecting and saying, oh, that's not working.
That's not working. Let me go to one of your high points. Here you have, and I don't know whether the camera can pick it up, a Vogue cover. Where, Anoma, would you like to explain what?
I created the fabric, which was then used by a designer at the time, who put it together for a few pieces for his couture collection. It was a very long time ago, and it was the first piece of work I ever did. I was doing my MA at the time, and that was the first commission I ever had.
Gosh.
So it was wonderful, but it was wonderful to be on the cover of Vogue. But I've never been on the cover of Vogue again, so it's downhill.
Downhill all the way.
Exactly. Starting at the top is not so good.
That's the story of our lives. Well, let's go and have a look at some of your other work now.
Okay, great.
Is this one of the kind of new media? Is it a work of art in that kind of new media?
Yes, that's what I would call it. It's digital art image, so you wouldn't really call it a painting. It's using a camera and computer. Working with a mixture of different images and creating something. And this is part of my exhibition Quest, which was to do with peace and reconciliation. And I went to Jaffna in 2003 and shot a lot of images, as well as tsunami images as well. So it was about the pain and destruction of our country and whether we could try to find ways to reach beyond that and to find peace in our interactions with each other. So it was a very mixed media exhibition because it had video installation, it had a lot of words, quotations from many people, philosophers, ordinary people, Sri Lankans, international, dead, alive, talking about how we can reconcile our differences. Part of that.
And these were sort of manipulated on the computer,
yes.
the different
yes.
kinds of.
Yes.
Was there a Buddha statue like this against the palm tree?
This was absolutely the what
was it? That's what I wanted to establish.
This was there's only
a little
the wash
bit
of something else. That was this was I did with none of the images did I move any of the major objects. I just used more effects, if you like.
Because this particular one is a very surreal kind of image, isn't it? It's amazing.
I couldn't believe it.
It's so strong.
And,
so strong.
I think there are other photographs of it, but I particularly like this particular angle where you have this at the drop of that, and then I wanted to get the feel of it, maybe with the water coming over. So that's what I wanted to actually get the feel.
Impression you get.
That the water is still there.
You're almost underwater here.
Yes, that was, and that's what's lovely about art, of course. That we can imagine and we can create whatever we want.
So you find this kind of computer alteration is quite helpful in your kind of imaginative. It gives you this leap of faith into another kind of.
Yes, I mean, I do that with my paintings anyway. So one's in a dream world. I mean, I'm in a fantasy world most of the time. So I'm always sort of creating something.
In real life too.
Exactly. Not much connected to reality, which makes life very difficult for me and for all my family and friends as well.
Tell me about this painting. It's kind of interesting, this one. It's a large painting.
Very oddly, that was also called Quest. It's a much earlier piece of work, but the actual painting is called Quest because the idea is that it's a quest for truth.
So this is called Quest, but that ended up as the Quest exhibition.
As the whole exhibition.
But there's a few years between.
Painting that was called Quest, and it's a sort of precursor of that. So this is I would call my signature style, which is pure paint work, where I'm working with lots of different layers, layering ideas as well.
Conflicting planes.
And this is part of my exhibition in New Delhi, which was on Buddhism and Islam. Alongside Buddhist paintings were mixed together with Islamic kind of subject matter as well as Buddhist subject matter. And so, there was a lot of interest in the media about, this odd combination. What I was trying to talk about was healing between religions as well. And are we so apart? Whatever. But interestingly, there was a lot of attention because about that time, the Bamiyan Buddhas were destroyed by the Taliban.
Is kind of reading quite central to your work? Do you do research in books?
It's vital to my work. 2 or 3 of my exhibitions have been about inspired by the writings of Rainer Maria Rilke.
Rilke, I remember that one. Yeah.
The German poet. And so poetry, novels, philosophy, religion, travel writing, because I love traveling.
Yeah.
All these come together, and they are very, very vital inspiration for my work in a very tenuous.
Yeah, I guess it all goes and then
yes,
gets cooked up and comes out in different ways.
I don't know how it comes out, but it's all part of the gestation creative process. Because I mean, the way I work a lot before I actually work on a painting. I do a lot of sketching, a lot of writing, a lot of planning, a lot of dreaming.
Yeah.
And then
So you can't really say that this particular country inspired this work or this particular book. It's much more subtle than that.
It's much more what I can't even handle, and I sort of point out. But they all come together. So it's very eclectic mix of things. Maybe opera, film, all these things influence my painting more than other painters,
Right.
Opera very much, and drama, theatre.
Let's go and have a look at some more paintings.
Okay.
These are kind of interesting, these ones. They're very muted sort of
Yeah, they're very subtle, and they're very internal almost paintings, and they're sort of internal landscapes about man's place in nature and his relationship again to each other. So there are 2 people here surrounded by water and storm, and it's called We Are Mirages, and this is called I Shall Be Both Stone and Silent. So you see someone on that stone there, but he's silent. He's become part of the stone. He's become part of nature. So it's very much a thing to do with how we are really very closely connected to nature.
They're very lonely paintings. Did you feel kind of very isolated and lonely?
Yes, about man being alone
in this vast
nature, in this
kind
vast
of universe.
space. Exactly. Yeah. That we are very small. In terms of time, in terms of the world and time, and how long the Earth has been going on, as well as we're very insignificant little
dots. And this one, of course, I recognize this. This was in the Biennale, the Colombo Biennale. Yeah.
That is from my exhibition, which is called Phoenix, and that one is called I Will Endure, and it's about coming through whatever happens. So Phoenix rising from the ashes. There was an exhibition about imagining peace. So the idea of moving on from the ashes.
Tell me about this question of value. Is there a value to Sri Lankan painting? Is there a kind of an art market here?
It's just starting. There is. I mean, there have been collectors for years, but it's a very small group of people who are seriously investing.
Is it the same guys chasing all the paintings pretty much?
Possibly. So it's not a huge thing. If you look at India and see and China, the contemporary art market has just, huge.
It's kind of astronomical.
Yes,
now.
exactly.
Yeah. Is that something we don't understand here in Sri Lanka, that paintings are valuable, that they are bankable like houses or property or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's not something that's thought about a great deal. I think people more have different reasons for buying art, because they fall in love with a painting, or because they have decorating their house and they want
and they need something above the dining table.
Yes, and that's all valid, but then there are the people who buy because it's a very good investment. But of course, I'm happiest if somebody buys a painting because they have had
for the
a relationship with it, and the painting speaks particularly to them.
So how far do you think we are from your paintings being sold at Sotheby's? Who knows? Well,
the thing is, I enjoy doing them, and I'm so happy if they go to the home and heart of somebody who really relates to them. And that I think
has to be the principal reason.
Everybody to their own. I mean, it doesn't matter why you buy. Each person buys for different reasons.
Gosh, it's been enormously instructive. Anoma, thank you very much indeed for telling us about the art world and the art market, and showing us your paintings and how you paint.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.